How this former accountant makes $5,000 a month with no code. You'll be learning about the story of Kieran Ball. He tried and failed learning how to code, and he did this multiple times. From there, he went searching for a technical co-founder. He wasn't able to find one, and that led him to no-code. He doubled down, building several no-code SaaS products, as well as a newsletter on the topic, and a no-code SaaS boilerplate called Bullet Launch. Combined, these no-code products make him $5,000 plus every month. So let's dive into his total journey. Before I dive in, I want to say if you're looking for a step-by-step academy to build your very own SaaS product, I have you covered with the Build a Micro SaaS Academy. It's my very own course that's going to show you how to build, scale, and profit from your very own micro SaaS. It includes 8+ hours of video and $500 plus of free bonuses. So make sure you check out the link in the description below. Or if you're just looking for some free SaaS ideas, there's also a link in the description below for that as well. Kieran's journey started when he was an accountant. He kind of just ended up on this path as he really didn't know any other entrepreneurs and didn't consider it a path that he could choose from. He kind of just ended up there, and by his own words, he wasn't the best employee. He didn't like having a boss, and he didn't like the lack of autonomy. And overall, he just really didn't like living according to someone else's schedule. And he worked at a really large 70,000 plus person company, and he didn't like being pigeonholed into doing just one type of specialized work. Now, though earning a salary was convenient and easy, he knew the bulk of value was creating his own company, as when you're an employee, the bulk of value that you're working towards is creating value for the shareholders. As if you're a company that's paying you, the employee, they wouldn't be employing you if you weren't generating enough value for them. Knowing all this, Kieran had decided he wanted to dip his toes into indie hacking. First, he thought he had to learn how to code, so he tried products such as Code Academy, but he just ran into issues where things like his laptop's dev environment wasn't working, and he never really reached a point where he could ship a product. From there, he tried finding a technical co-founder, but he was never able to get anyone on board based on his ideas at the time, which were mainly just social networks, and by his own admission, they weren't great ideas. And in 2019, he came across a no-code app builder called Glide Apps on Product Hunt, and this just blew his mind. No code was what he needed, and from there, he was able to launch a couple of MVPs or minimal viable products very quickly. And after using Glide for a bit, he realized there were some limitations he wanted to overcome, and that's when he discovered the popular no-code tool called Bubble. From there, he was instantly hooked. It was very flexible and it's very powerful, and at this point he had a decent understanding of how apps work, and Bubble just made sense to him. And throughout his experience with Bubble, he was really just learning as he was going. And started with just building simple functional landing pages, and he slowly worked his way up to more complex products. And within a couple of months, he built his first full SaaS product, and it was a video testimonial tool before they were really trendy. Although the product didn't work out, as he didn't really understand marketing and how to get his initial users at the time, it ended up being a successful niche. From there, he kind of just went into build mode, not really advertising any of the products he built, and he wasn't really thinking like a founder. But with every build, he learned new skills, and shortly after that, he quit his job and became a freelancer for one of the biggest Bubble agencies. And this was a really good experience for him as he learned a lot of best practices and grew in confidence. And from there, he started recording tutorials and courses teaching others how to use Bubble as well, and a significant proportion of his income started coming from that instead of freelancing, and so that freed his time up for other SaaS products. And from there, he started to see some small successes with the products he was building. The first was called Yep.so, and it's a lightning-fast landing page builder for validating ideas. It grew to $700 in monthly recurring revenue, but he ultimately ended up selling it for around $25,000. So we can see it's still online now and lets you build a landing page in 2 minutes. So you can say goodbye to complex landing page builders, and it's a free AI-powered no-code tool. So it's trusted by over 3,000 founders, and overall looks like they've really simplified the process. The next big product for Kieran was a SaaS boilerplate called Bullet Launch. And this lets you launch your SaaS in just a weekend, and it's the ultimate boilerplate Bubble.io app to build your next SaaS in days, not months, all without needing to know how to code. It also comes with a huge huge amount of detailed documentation, so it's basically like a course and a boilerplate all in one. And this idea was brewing for Kieran for a long time, as he continually found himself wasting time building these same basics for every SaaS project. And then in late 2023, Bubble introduced a new feature which made it possible to detach reusable elements, which finally made it possible to build your own functional UI components that could be reused across the app. And according to Kieran, boilerplates became a cliche in the indie hacker community, but in the no-code world, they were actually quite rare. So Bullet Launch was released on March the 8th this year, and since its launch, it's made an average of $3.3 thousand every month, and now has built-in integrations for things such as OpenAI, Postmark, and Loops for email, as well as Stripe and Lemon Squeezy for subscriptions. Kieran also runs products such as CreateWith, which is an AI no-code plus podcast, newsletter, and conference, as well as a newsletter with over 4,500 subscribers that's all about the no-code solopreneur. One really key lesson Kieran has learned along the way is that distribution is everything. And this is one of those things that people say all the time, but according to Kieran, don't ignore them and carry on building. It really is the most important thing, as it is also much harder than you think and requires real time and dedication to learn. If you want to build a successful SaaS, focus on growing your marketing skills. For Kieran, his marketing has primarily been on X and through his email newsletter, with a small amount on LinkedIn. He's built up 30k plus followers on X who know him for posting about no code, indie hacking, as well as SaaS. On LinkedIn as well, he has about 1.3 thousand followers. So this concludes the video on Kieran Ball and his amazing journey so far. I'll leave a link in the description below to the original article written by James Fleischman. Before I go as well, I want to mention the Build a Micro SaaS Academy. It's the step-by-step academy that's going to show you how to build, scale, and profit from your very own micro SaaS. Even if you don't have any product ideas, funding, or SaaS experience, there's a link for this in the description below, so make sure you check that out. I also have sneaky micro SaaS ideas you can steal for free. There's also a link in the description below for this as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it so much if you smashed that like and subscribe button below. If you have any questions, leave a comment, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.